Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Art Whisperer 88. On your screen you will see a few collage pieces that I had downloaded off the internet. These are copies of star charts or maps of the constellations. These are taken from Antique Maps, Map of the Heavens, and I thought I could do a winter solstice themed composition using these charts and some stencils and some colors that I have chosen. So this will be an interesting project, and I hope to have you join me for the ride. I'm not really sure what the final result is going to be because I'm not really using any particular reference artwork, but I won't know until I try. So I'm going to go ahead and create the background colors first and then overlay the collage pieces on top. So I'll be right back. Don't go away. So I'm going to start with ivory black, and I'm going to create some zones here. Let me start with this side. So I'm creating these blocks of color. Okay, that's it for the black. Then I will be using this Amsterdam graphite. Again, I'm just creating these zones of different color. And kind of loosely blending them together. Then I just have a highlight area here in copper, kind of like an unexpected flash of metallic color. Okay, and as usual, I will introduce some of my scribbles. And since this is a large area, I'm going to be a little more aggressive with the marks. Okay. And this is probably my last sheet of Somerset velvet. I mean Somerset Textured. And I'm not creating any borders on the side. The image goes completely off the edge. So hopefully this will create a nice background for the collage. And I will see how many layers will be appropriate to complete this composition. Okay, as usual, I will leave this for about 5 to 10 minutes and be back. Okay, this has been about 5 minutes. And I can feel from the paper that it has stuck to the plate or plates. Let's see what we got. I think it picked up a lot of nice textures. I like the contrast with the copper. It gives it a nice earth tone. I remember when I was in a printmaking class, this kind of texture you get from a lithograph. It's a very peculiar texture. Then there's the seam of the two plates, but it seems to work in this case. It's not a bad thing. Okay, I like this. For first pull, I think it's pretty successful. I love the energy of these scribbles, the marks, and I think they're going to work well with the collage pieces. So let me air dry this and clean off the plates, and I will proceed to step 2, which is introducing these map of the heavens. So don't go away. I'm going to see if I can salvage this ghost print. I think it's very pretty, and I think it's worth a try. And here's some raw sienna. I think the result is going to be a very painterly effect because the raw sienna is very watery, and I'm being very loose with the blending of the colors. Okay. Now, since I am out of the Somerset Textured, here is a sheet of Arnhem, and I'll see what the result is going to be. And since there are no borders, the registration is not as strict because the print goes over the edge of the paper, so it's really not that urgent to make sure that the lines are straight. I just have a small white space on the top and a little bit of a larger space on the bottom where I usually sign my name and place the date, and maybe a title if I wish, because most of my pieces are untitled. Okay, so I'll let that sit for like 5 minutes and I will be right back. Okay, let's see how this worked out. I can tell it already has a very interesting texture. We picked up the scribbles, or the ghost of the scribbles, which I like. Usually the ghost image is more interesting than the preliminary pull. Pretty cool. I like this. It's very painterly. Here's a close-up shot. I like that a lot. It's almost like a watercolor. So I'm glad I took the chance. I do love the result. So this gets air dried and I will be right back. Okay, now this is the ghost print, and I've decided to place this piece of, this is a scrap piece of a copy of antique map, and it's really badly wrinkled because I've had this for a very long time, and I thought this is the opportunity to make use of it. Okay, hopefully the wrinkles will even out. There. Then this is a piece of QR code. Up here. And then the largest piece of collage is this Let me just squeeze out the air bubbles so it lays as flat as possible. There. And unlike the first piece, I think this is a much busier piece that I don't really need to keep adding. So, as usual, I will wait for the collage elements to dry and then make a determination on what is the next step. So be back in a few minutes. Okay, everybody. As you can see on your screen, this is quite a complicated and ambitious effort. I have a lot of scrap pieces here of tape and my reusable acetate stencils. So I am assigning 3 zones here. This is beige by Lukas on this side, blending into a light blue, and then finally on the left side will be gold, a deep gold. So I'm going to start by charging the plate with beige. I just hope that all these small pieces behave. I think I made a mess here. And then here's light blue. And hopefully these little pieces don't start to shift during inking. And then finally here is deep gold. It's one of my favorite colors because it really does add a different dimension to the print because it's a bright metallic color. So I will start by inking the beige. And it is slightly more watery, so there's going to be some texture, which is fine. Gradually blending into light blue. Now the The issue with using two plates that are abutted against each other is with subsequent printings, I noticed that the plates are starting to shift away because they are flexible. I hope it's not a problem. Okay, I'm going to switch brayers and do the gold. Oops. Yeah, these pieces of tape are not very sticky, so they tend to lift. You just have to be very careful. Okay. So now I have to get my piece of cardboard and start sorry that some of this may be off camera because my table isn't big enough. And I purposely applied the paint rather heavily because I wanted it to stay wet. Since there's so many stencils, I didn't want the paint to start drying on me. So this way, because the paint is heavy, it's going to stay wet for a few minutes. I think I got them all. I don't remember putting any really tiny pieces. Okay. So, to refresh your memory, here is the piece with the collage. Now, since this is such a wide surface area, I have to apply a little more pressure because I want the paint to transfer properly. Especially here where there's a seam, there is a slight dip. Okay, this is a moment of truth. So it is very painterly. It looks almost like a canvas. I love that. I'm quite happy with that. The way the last layer, here's a piece that I forgot. I will have to peel those off. There we go. And I have to do this quickly. Now, had I waited a few more minutes, this would have stuck on permanently, and I would be very unhappy. Pretty cool. Here's a close-up. Now, since there are no borders, I just have to be careful. There's no place for me to grab. And I do like the mottled texture created by the brayer and the way it interacts with the antique map images underneath. So that is my first print. And after I air dry this, I will proceed to the second part, which is the ghost print, which also has collage. So let me air dry this and then start working on the second print. Be right back. Okay, everybody, I've come to the second portion, which is the ghost print, and I am applying beige by Lukas on the right side. This is graphite, which will be the central column, and then copper, which will be on the extreme left side. And keeping in mind that that order will be reversed once it gets printed. So I'm going to go ahead ink this. Do some graphite in the middle. And some copper. Okay, now keeping in mind that the ghost print is a little busier, I am applying much less paint. Okay. This time I'm going to place the stencils directly into my soaking pan just to save one step. Now a lot of the residue from the stencil is sticking to the plate, but I'm not worried because this is dry enough. I don't think this will transfer. Okay. Think I got them all. Just making sure my hands are clean. And to refresh your memory, here is the ghost print with the collage pieces. There are only really 3 pieces of collage here because the background is so busy. There's a lot going on. So let's see how this works out. And again, I'm really pushing down very hard. I'm applying as much pressure as I can so that the paint transfers. And the application of paint this time is more on the thin side. It's not too heavy. So I'm hoping maybe it will produce some transparent effects because it's applied thinly. Okay, let's see what we got. I think it's a nice combination of different tones. And I think the beige works well with the gray collage. Oops. Okay. Wow. I think this worked very well. And the seam is right here, but it actually adds to the image. And I'm pretty happy with the color combinations. I think the copper gives it a nice warm shine, and it contrasts with the cooler grays, and this beige color works well with the raw sienna of the first layer. Let me do a close-up so you can see the detail. It's a very complex image which I was aiming for. You have different layers and textures, and I think the beige works very well with the constellation map. I particularly like this part, but that is the ghost print. Okay, so it worked out after all. Now, I approached this really kind of blindly. I didn't have too clear of an idea of how this is going to work out, but pretty happy with the result. And I'm really convinced that when you take risks and things work out, the rewards are great. And I'm quite happy with this. This is my tribute to the winter solstice with the maps of the stars. So thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I hope to see you next time.